have a very special Jive and Honey, famous for nothing, and we have a long old friend of over 22 years of working together. You might know her from the Preston and Steve show, but we have Kathy Romano with us today.
Yay!
Welcome.
I know. I was actually thinking that. Sorry, I was actually thinking that 22 years or maybe even longer.
We shot you for the Y100 calendar.
Yeah. So what year was Y100?
Yeah, so that would have been 22 years ago. Y100 was 2003.
Holy moly. Damn. But yeah, so how we work together is that we produce the Preston and Steve Totally Office calendar. And you kind of was the production manager on it. And thinking back, it's like you basically worked like a pimp.
Well, and I think it was less weird because it was me.
Oh,
I was the only female.
It was absolutely less weird because
Steve
of you.
couldn't do it.
No, none of them could do it. That's why I had to, I had to corral these girls, find all these amazingly talented, beautiful women to wear basically nothing and pose in a calendar. So yes, it made it way less creepy that I was contacting them.
It was. Right. It's the only way it worked. There would have been zero longevity to that had it been anyone else.
But it was crazy because we always say that like there'd be 12 girls. It's like 5 of them would be amazing. 5 of them would be completely unmemorable. And then 3 of them would be absolutely insane.
Although,
good or bad.
Although there was, I know the calendar. I know the year that where we had 12 amazing. It was the best calendar we ever did.
It was the best calendar.
Do you know which one it was?
Yeah, but it was also because we let the training wheels off and everyone was naked.
You're talking. It's 2009.
It's 2009. Yes.
Yeah.
But like
everybody was naked.
Is that what it was?
Everybody was
naked.
naked.
You don't know that Bill brought us in the next year and
we got in trouble.
We got in trouble.
We got so much trouble.
They have to have at least bottoms on.
It was such.
He's like, one girl wore a guitar and gloves.
She did.
She did.
And it was one of the best shots.
It was awesome.
One of my all-time favorites.
It was the cover, right?
No.
Angela was the cover. That's right.
Yeah.
And she had a full boob out.
And she just had hair.
Yeah, she just had hair.
Covering her up.
One tit out.
I miss those days. But we have to say that we're not going to talk about the little details, but you are no longer with the show.
I know. So sad.
It is sad. We haven't done the calendar in like 3 years, 4 years.
I think
4 years. We did something on the 2021.
Was it 21 where we did
like a poster,
a design
poster, whatever.
Yeah, I think COVID kind of was where we killed it.
Was the nail in the coffin. I think there was a lot of pushback on having like a pinup calendar was falling out of favor at that time.
Right.
So
whereas I wanted to do one that was all the girls were either immigrants, trans, or handicapped. And be like, what
the hell?
I really thought that was a good workaround.
Well, you know what happened? We all aged, and these models all stayed 18.
Yeah.
And so it was like, okay.
Yeah.
This is getting weird.
It did. It had its time. I kind of wanted a big finale, though.
I know you did.
Yeah,
and I did bring it to everybody, but
I know. Yeah. They were like,
we kind of used COVID as the excuse to like COVID happened.
To move on.
We're not bringing this. We did the one poster, whatever that was, and that kind of wrapped it up.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
I'm okay.
Yeah, it's been 2 weeks now.
2 weeks, 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
See, there was. So I knew a few. I knew 2 weeks prior. So
right,
which way to everyone handled that very well, keeping it under their hats.
Well, yeah, I guess. But now that people know, a
Looking
couple
back.
of people have said we heard it on the air. A couple of guests reached out to me, said when I got there, I felt the vibe. It was different. I didn't know what it was. Now I know what it was.
Yeah. I could see that in the room. People, especially like when the mics were off and everyone kind of being like,
yeah.
But what stage are you on? Is it, you have, sadness, anger, are you, what stage are you?
So I do feel like it's a roller coaster. I know people say that all the time, but it is totally an emotional roller coaster. Like I'm like, okay, I'm fine. I'm it's okay. It's just the next chapter. I'll be fine. And then I'm in the shower and I'm like, oh my God.
But what
family.
But it was a family.
I know.
22 years.
That's the worst part of it.
Yeah.
It was a family.
Yeah.
And I thought of you guys too, that 22 years, because you guys, how long have you guys been together?
25
25.
years.
So
Yeah.
you know.
Oh, yeah.
By the way,
yeah.
corporate said you need to
They
go.
need to talk to me after this? Oh, shit. God damn it. Kathy, we can hang out together.
Not my decision.
Yeah, but you guys are lucky because you don't have corporate.
No,
and that's
that's like the good and bad of working for yourself,
it's sad and it's hard. And it didn't just affect me. I'm not the only one who shed tears and anger and all the emotions. It affected everybody in that room.
But I have to say, it's like I commute, so I listen, and the energy is different, and you are definitely missed for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still getting obviously emails and text messages, phone calls, all of it, and I don't listen.
That was my question that I've been trying to get in there.
Nope,
That's
too
hard.
I can't.
It's too soon.
So painful.
Oh
I
my
can't.
gosh.
I can't. So I don't listen. So I do get some stuff, and I don't necessarily want it. I don't really want to hear,
Right.
but whatever. People are just being nice, and that's fine.
Do you have the FOMO, the fear of missing out, like that you it's going on? Because that's a weird thing. Like, it didn't completely break up where everyone went their separate ways.
They're still part of it. And I think so. I guess it's a little FOMO, but I think it's more so like being part of that family. It's like, oh my God, now I'm not part of that family.
Because it's a fun family.
Yeah.
Right. Well, you're not a part of that work, that creation now, but you're forever a part of that family.
I know. And everybody says that, and we all said that, but in reality,
right.
We said, Preston and I talked, and we're like, it's going to be work to remain friends, like to be friends.
Oh yeah.
It takes a little work. It takes scheduling time to see each other and hang out and send messages. And, they've all been really great about it, but time will tell.
Yeah. I mean, when we do bigger productions and we're with people for an extended period of time, it's like, we're going to be best friends forever. And then
what was that guy's name?
Yeah. And then it's like summer camp, and you're like, by Christmas, everyone's kind of like on to something else.
Yeah.
But the one thing when you agreed to come on, we were surprised. We're like, oh, that's awesome. She's coming on. I think about you every morning.
Oh.
Every single morning, I think about.
Hold that.
I was like, wait, in what way?
Wait a minute.
See, now you're gonna feel like you're back with another dysfunctional family. Wait for it.
But that's why I said yes, because really, you guys were like the extended part of the family.
We were like, the cousins that came over once in a while.
It's very nice. It's great to hear that too, because we felt that way. We didn't know if you guys felt that way.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We always had so much fun. I mean, Preston and Steve show had fun, but whenever you guys were involved, there was always so much fun that we had.
Right.
I mean, we felt the same way.
It was supposed to be a good time when we were doing that.
Yeah.
Never like, oh, this is work, guys.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Yeah, it was a good match. Yeah. It was a good match.
Yeah.
But when I found out that when you are in the bathroom, you are a toilet paper baller and not a folder.
Wait, that's why you think of me?
Yeah, I
So
felt
every
like
time I'm doing my morning business, I have thoughts of Kathy Romano.
Weirdest thing ever. Wait,
But I couldn't believe that
22,
you were
22 years with the Preston and Steve. That's the weirdest thing ever.
But you guys talked about it, and I couldn't. I was in shock. I was just like,
why?
Because I'm a folder.
Do you think I should be like neat folding?
I just knowing you for all these years, I would just assume you were a folder.
I think they were shocked too.
Yeah,
right?
I was
That's
just
really
like,
funny.
whoa, that's crazy. But weren't you used to be a folder, and then you went back to the ball?
No,
that might have been someone else.
No. I just think like the ball. It's like farther away from your hand.
Furthest distance.
That's reasonable.
When it's folded,
from
it's
the
like,
action.
Ooh,
You're
You're
right in there.
up in there.
Careful.
2 plies from hell.
See, we wanted you to feel at home when you come talk with us, and so the first thing we talk about.
He
is
wanted to
food.
open with that.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, come on. You knew what I did for 22 years.
Yeah.
It's fine.
It's like, oh, I thought I was
Goodbye.
done with this shit. Like, oh, that's the other thing too. You spent 22 years on it. We were a little nervous. It's like, well, she's a fucking pro. She's like, she's gonna talk circles around us.
Wait, Kathy Romano, professional broadcaster?
You know? But on podcasts, you get to curse and swear.
I know.
And is it something that you normally do, or like, do you have a potty mouth outside work?
I do have a little bit of a potty mouth. I'm not terrible. So my parents, my dad was like, F this, F that, you know, like no matter what he's doing, he's cursing. You think it's the end of the world. He's an electrician. Anytime he ever did work on our house, we're like, we're not going to have electric for a year. You know, he's like, I dropped a screw. You know, we're like, what? And my mom, I've only heard her curse, I think one time, the F word. And that was it. So I'm like somewhere in the middle. But as far as the microphones go, I'm so trained to not curse that I don't know that I would.
Is there one like therapeutic, everything you've gone through? Is there one good curse you just want to say, no. Like let out? Like, like if you want, it'd be, you know, you can say cunt if you want. You know,
you can say whatever you want.
You can say whatever you want.
No.
All right.
I don't think that's going to help.
I just want to offer part of therapy. It is therapeutic.
We'll see how this goes.
I do remember. I think probably the first time we worked together, only knowing you from air and maybe one meeting. And being like, her sense of humor is definitely way raunchier than I thought it would be. Like, yeah. And I was like, that's awesome. It's like
the early years, you guys used to come hang out. It used to be a little bit of a party.
It was great.
Like we had a lot of times we're working in restaurants and bars would be the location.
Yeah.
So we'd be drinking. We'd start drinking like at 3 p.m.
Yeah.
And it was so much fun. We could tell like the day it's like on a movie set when the craft services goes from like an omelet maker to that there's the crackers. you know that your days are numbered. So by the end, like no one, you guys are just like, you guys good? Yeah, we're good.
You got this, right?
There wasn't an open bar tab.
Yeah.
Are they pretty?
Yeah. Are they done yet? That's all we need to know.
Are they pretty yet?
But we had that one nightmare Airbnb.
I'm so glad you're bringing this up. I'm like, we cannot do a show without talking about that.
I mean, it was incredible. Dude, thinking about it.
It was so shocking to walk in there and be like,
so we always have a location and it's always different. And that was always the biggest struggle. Every year of like, we've shot in casinos and bars and, you know, all sorts of places. Yeah. A pool club.
A florist.
Yeah, a florist.
Actually.
Yeah, we figured out how to... We figured that out.
By the way, my favorite that never came to fruition, I remember somebody suggested Raymore and Flanagan. And I was like, that is such a great idea. I love it so much.
Yeah, that would have been awesome. But it was like the rated highest Airbnb stay in Philadelphia or something like that.
Right. So I knew the guy who purchased it.
Right.
And it was when he purchased it, for whatever reason, it went viral that this amazing Airbnb, was it South Philly?
No, it was an old city. And it was a double wide property, which was
3 stories.
It was cool. Like, it was a cool space.
It was a cool
exists.
Space.
Yeah.
So it was an Airbnb. I knew the guy.
Right.
We needed a place.
Yeah, we were a little desperate. Yeah,
connected it all. He had like a property manager running it and running the schedule.
Yeah.
So we got that all set up so that you guys could go. We were still on the air doing the show. You guys could go and start shooting.
And we start early.
It was a Monday morning. It was
8
early.
o'clock.
Yeah.
We walk in. And it was filled with like 10 dudes, 12 dudes from a bachelor party.
We're all still
drunk. They were asleep on the floor, half clothed. They had a whole room of just IVs.
I remember you sent me a picture of the IV bags and banana peels.
Yeah.
They were
they were in it to win it.
And when you texted me, because I was the point of contact, you texted me and I was like, haha.
You thought I was pranking you.
And you were like, no, seriously. I go,
no, seriously.
What are you saying? What are you talking about? I was like, no, you're at the wrong place.
Because not only, it wasn't like, oh, there's a nice family staying here.
It
stunk like fucking beer and ass.
They had also been there.
They're still pissed drunk.
They got there Thursday. The amount of liquor garbage was unreal.
Pizza boxes, takeout boxes. the place was destroyed.
Syringes for an IV, for God's sake.
So many IVs.
Oh.
And they were really ahead of the curve on IVs.
But we have a crew of like 12 people. We have 4 models setting up, and racks of wardrobe.
On the sidewalk.
And
all the wardrobe is underpants, basically.
Yeah.
So it's like all very short.
Underwear hanging.
Yeah, racks of underwear.
Oh.
Just in front.
That was, I am sure terrifying for you guys, but like thinking back, that was the best ever.
It was. It's such a great story.
Because we were
is.
like on the phone
But
and
in
like
it-
scrambling. Like none of us were listening. And so we can only imagine it made for great radio.
It did. And then I got
Yeah.
on the phone with the owner
Yeah.
who hired a property manager.
Yeah.
So he was like, what is happening? Let me call this guy. Guy got the schedule wrong. Thought they were checking out Sunday.
Right.
Didn't.
Not
Checked
the
out
case.
Monday. So there was no cleaning service that came through.
Right.
So I remember coming. I came
Yeah.
to
And
check it out.
cleaners.
It was like the floors were sticky.
Yep.
You guys had to choose because these poor girls are supposed to be like modeling on beds.
That's
They were
part of it too. They're not models. They're girls you hustle
Listeners.
into
Yeah,
this
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
They're listeners. So they're sitting there. It's supposed to be like their princess day.
Yeah, the prince. Yeah, because we did try to do that for them. Like,
Yeah,
this
that
is
was-
you.
that was part of the deal. That was
we
part of
always
the deal.
said it's so much fun. It's
You're
like
queen for a
hair,
day.
makeup,
Yeah.
queen for the day.
Just not that year.
Not that year. Not those 4 models.
Well, I remember our PA, we were like, the deal we got with these guys were like, all right, just get off the 3rd floor.
Yeah, we picked one room that we're gonna start in. It's like, could we clean this one room?
And we'll start
You
here.
guys just do what you have to do to get.
And our PA
all your
is
shit
just
up.
doing, like, taking sheets
Well,
off
that's
the bed,
I
doing
remember
laundry.
like the dirty sheets. Like you couldn't even shoot on the bed because there was no
No.
clean sheets.
There's
Yeah.
no clean sheets.
There was a deck outside up
Yeah.
on the top. I think you
Oh,
used
yeah.
that.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
our
we just-
second shot. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god. Oh yeah, one outdoor shot.
Yeah.
I remember thinking you're joking. Stop
Yeah.
sending me. Like, what are they joking
Yeah,
about
we
again?
started sending you pictures. That's when
I remember I was like, I got mad. I was like, dude, she thinks we're kidding.
I we're fucking with her
100% thought
because
you were
that's
joking.
something we would do.
Totally. Yes. But when I got the syringe and banana peel picture, I was
Yeah.
like, oh no.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
a bachelor party in there.
It was really, it was.
I do have to
gross.
say, and I have to give credit to the dudes that were so hungover and still a little drunk were very nice. They got it. They weren't like, go fuck yourselves. This is
Yeah.
our bachelor party.
Yeah.
They were like, we'll get out of here. Because I think they had like a special arrangement to even be there.
Okay.
Yeah.
But they were very cool.
No, they were cool
And they
about
helped,
it.
and it was just piles of trash. Just
Yeah, they got the trash out of because there was so much garbage. We were like, just get it out of the building, like get it outside.
But we miss
so
it.
funny.
We miss you guys. Like that was like that's when we felt like an extension of the
Yeah.
Preston and Steve family. It was like we were involved in that, and it was so much fun. It was fun coming in the office to talk about it. It was fun to go through the pictures.
Yeah, there was a whole process. It's not just shoot and then have this
No,
printed. We would
no.
meet with you guys, go through all the pictures.
Yeah.
I mean, and the pictures, there'd be like 10 of the same picture with like one arm
Yeah.
over.
Because they
and
weren't
you're like,
models.
What? Yeah.
They weren't models, so it's just like we got the best we could.
But then it also, like, by the end, it became like, well, what if we took the hand from that one and you guys put it here, and then we took the hair from that one,
her smile from this one, and
I remember one year I was like, I hated this girl's socks. And they were pulled up, and I kept saying, I'm like, I hate the socks. Can we just use the picture without the socks? And finally someone was like, no one's looking at her socks. I was like, fine. And I think if we printed the picture with the socks, I was like, fine, whatever.
the hills
Yeah.
that people died on
Yeah.
in those meetings
I know.
were crazy, where it was like,
Yeah.
really? Is this the issue that's going to jam us up
Yeah.
and make us have to come back for a second day of meetings about this?
man,
Let it go. No one cares. And of course, the classic joke was, every calendar needs a November.
yeah. It definitely was. We always wanted to start out strong. So if you were October, and then it's like, oh, that's my birthday. Hey, good for
The
you.
poor girls are all
Yeah.
like, I was November.
Yeah, it's like,
Hey, at least you weren't December.
yeah. Someone needs to tell you you're in November.
But also, we were really thankful when you took over, because I think the year before you really took the reins, I think Nick had been in charge. and he gave us 17 girls to shoot. And we were like, you know how many months there are, right?
That's right. And we did like one or a couple pictures with
doubles.
2 girls.
We did,
Doubles
but it's still like we still had like extra images, and we had to do like a 13-month calendar.
That's right, we did. What was that? What year was that?
I don't
remember.
It's all
I don't
a
remember.
blur. It's all a blur.
I don't know.
That 2009 though. That was, and
Yeah.
also we were there. We were hanging out.
Hanging out. All the pictures I found of you. I have a great one with what was her name? The dark brunette. We used her a couple. Brittany. You and Marissa and Brittany. I was gonna post it, but I'm like, I should check with Kathy, make sure I should post this.
Check with
all
everyone.
parties involved.
All I know exactly.
We did a lot of
what picture
hand bras, and sometimes we had people sit in for hand bras.
You follow Brittany? She's doing great.
really
She's
great.
in Nashville. She was
Yeah.
on a TV show with Kristen Cavallari. I think she has her own show now, does her own podcast.
But
all
you
of it.
knew that, like she had that it thing, like she was like a magnet.
Just
She
like
was
every
just
year, there was like 2
Yeah.
outstanding girls and 2 terrible girls. It's like over the course of the whole thing, it's like there was 5 really outstanding girls.
Oh,
Lauren Harris, Brittany. These were the
Lauren
people.
and Brittany, we loved.
We're-
They were
yeah,
the best. And
we're the
also
queens.
because, well, first of all, they were beautiful.
Yeah.
They took great pictures, but we were friends with them. We became
yeah.
close with them.
Yeah. We had Lauren Harris in other shoots. Like we hired her for other
We
jobs.
used
and
her a
gigs.
bunch
She was
of times.
great.
Yeah, she was great.
And Brittany too. But with Lauren, I'd always be like, "I'm gonna get you naked." And she's like, "I can't. My dad watches this, or we'll get the calendar." I said, "Lauren, you're gonna get naked, so you might as well just get naked."
Well, and
Every year.
But that was true though. We
Yeah.
went to her wedding, her first wedding, and her dad was not very happy with us. Yeah.
Yeah,
He
'cause
was
she
like,
was
he
always
basically was
serious.
like, oh, that's them. And like
That's-
even me, and he was like, no, that's the girl on the show.
Oh
like
my
he
God.
was not happy with us.
Was your table like back by the bathroom? Did you see you someplace?
I feel like we didn't force her to do it. Like she did actually
Also,
want
yes.
to do this.
That was
Yeah.
a really good opportunity to throw us under the bus.
Yeah,
we weren't
yeah.
there. We
No,
weren't
these
getting in it.
these
It's like-
scumbag,
it's not.
directors.
He
do it.
literally. She asked what her wardrobe was going to be. One time, he texted her a picture of a plant,
Yeah,
and it was. She just had a leaf over her.
Oh my gosh, her with the white fur. I remember that was my favorite
yeah.
picture.
Oh, the rug. Yeah.
And also,
yeah.
we shot at the Foundry. Did we shoot there one year?
Yeah, that was the
Yes.
best of one.
That was the best. Okay, that
Yeah,
picture of
yeah.
her was good too, and she had
Yeah.
clothes on. That was a
She
really
had
good
clothes
picture.
on.
Yeah,
And towards the end, she wouldn't fall for my shenanigans.
Yeah, your tricks.
Yeah.
As her relationships got more serious, it was less of a.
Damn. All right. But we always said the rules of the calendar is there's no crying. Someone would always cry.
Cried.
We're like, she's crying. Kathy, go talk to her. She's crying.
The second year we did it, that girl
yeah.
cried.
Yeah, because we gave her a crocheted bikini and she was afraid her nipples were going to show, and that leads to the second rule: nipples happen. It's like when you have 25 people and everyone's getting undressed. It's just like nipples will happen. You have to get over it.
It's like somebody's going to see
Stop,
your
like,
nipple.
you
It
know,
might not be
it's
me.
like- yeah.
It might not be him, but
See,
somebody's going
I
to see
think
it.
also we had to stop the calendar because someone was going to get sued.
Yeah.
There was not enough paperwork,
Yeah.
for sure. We definitely should have had the lawyers draw up a few other things.
Draw up a few things. Well, I do remember the girl that cried after the picture was printed because we didn't let the girls come in to choose their photos because
no, that
no,
chaos.
you
That would
can't.
have been.
that would be chaos.
We'd still be doing the 2008 calendar.
And seriously, we did a good job. We
Hell yeah.
spent a lot of time
Yeah.
going over photos. There was, in my opinion, there was not one photo that was ever printed that was terrible. Right?
No,
But
everything was.
one girl came because we used to make the announcement in the studio. We'd have all the girls there.
Reveal.
Oh yeah, it was big.
She said, "Thank you. I'll see you tonight," because it was a Friday. We were going to have the release party. She left, and we never heard from her again. Ever. She
I think I know.
I don't remember who it
Word
is. I
is
can't
that
wait
she
to.
hated her photo.
Yeah, I think it was the one too where I don't know how she got my email, was giving me edits.
Oh.
And she was just like, "Oh, change this, change this." After a while, I just didn't talk to her. Just like, "Are you kidding me?"
Yeah, I know. I felt
It's
bad
like-
because it was a beautiful picture.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
you were that.
That's actually like a mental health issue after a while.
Yeah, there are people
Yeah, you're
that
not seeing
don't
yourself like properly.
Like
Like
the
yourself.
rest
Show
of
that
us.
to 10 people. 10 people are going to be like, "It's an amazing,
It's amazing photo,
photograph
yeah.
to her."
it wasn't.
One thing was wrong.
But when that happened, I would feel bad because,
Yeah,
I was the point person for all of that. And I didn't want her to.
Yeah.
So she didn't experience the calendar release party, which was another, great event that we had with everybody.
Really pretty good time.
Yeah. So I was sad for her that she didn't come and do all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's also like, it was, a lot of people there to celebrate you, like as a, calendar girl. Like they were happy.
We had like 3,000 people go through to get autographs.
And they're all there, all lined up.
All
you guys
lined
were there,
up.
we were there.
Oh yeah, it was so much fun.
Yeah, it was always pretty cool because we'd always wait till late in the evening and then we'd kind of go over to be like, hey, good job, high fives.
Yeah.
And it was like, it was always pretty cool.
It was always fun.
Even for us, we're like, oh, this is pretty awesome.
Well, and it was another night for them too.
And we always meet their moms.
Yeah.
And there'd always be like a 13-year-old kid getting his autographs from the girls.
We launched a
you
lot
watch him go to puberty by the time he gets in the line.
we launched a lot of early puberty, I think.
By the time he got to us, he had already hit puberty.
But we had weird, like, where people would be like, you guys signed this? We're like,
yeah, people
why
would have us sign
why
it.
would you
It's
want
like-
us to? They're like, you're in the back. We're like, all right.
We see you.
Through your 22 years of Preston and Steve, it was amazing to see you guys grow. Because like you said, we were there from day one when you guys,
Made the switch. Yeah.
made the switch and went to MMR. What was it like living it? You get the BC celebrities up until you're sitting next to Kevin Costner.
I know. Just interviewed Kevin Costner not that long ago. It was
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
And he gave me a hug. Casey was like, she's your biggest fan. So he came over, gave me a hug. He was so nice. Yeah, we did.
Big Waterworld fan, right?
You're like, give me a Bull Durham hug.
No, Yellowstone. I was obsessed
That's
with
right.
Yellowstone. Like,
That's
love
right.
that. I would have dreams about Yellowstone that I was living on the ranch. And I would wake up and be like, oh, God, I don't live there.
Oh, what a disappointment.
What is this life?
That's wild.
I'm in Conshohocken still?
But that's also very cool. Like if you have that reaction to a series, and then you're seeing the star of the series.
Yeah.
sitting
John
next to-
Travolta. He was awesome.
He seems like a nice.
Oh
dude.
my God, so nice. He gave us all hugs before he left. He was like, that was one of the best interviews I ever did. Yeah, I mean,
Did you get any starstruck? Any kind of like, or like once you're in it, you just kind of know that they're people too.
Yeah, probably. You get like I would get not nerves, but just a little anxious before they would come in. People like that, John Travolta,
Right.
Kevin Costner. We had Billy Bob Thornton years ago.
Yeah,
maybe
yeah,
when we
yeah.
first got to MMR.
Was he insane or was he kind of?
He was cool. He was like chill. He was cool.
He was chill.
and
Okay, I can see that. Yeah.
Ed Harris, just I think those guys
Yeah,
for me,
heavy hitters.
but not nervous because because there's so many people, so everything was firing, all the questions, and you'd get your question in,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
if you did, and he responded,
Right.
positively or whatever, it was cool. So no, I don't think really starstruck. There may have been a few people, but nothing terrible.
Right. Now you don't have to name names, but was on the opposite end. Was there anyone where you're like, oh man, he was a fucking dick? Maybe not that extreme, but like maybe,
Yeah.
I thought he might be a little more pleasant.
Well, we had on who's the Jose Canseco? No, was it Jose Canseco? No.
Oh, yeah, the baseball
Baseball
player?
player?
Wait, does he have the twin brother?
Yes.
Okay, I'm thinking other. Okay, yes,
He's not twin, is he?
or brother.
They're brothers.
brothers.
Yeah.
Conseco brother.
So we had him on. He was doing one of those fights, those Damon Feldman fights. Remember that?
Yeah. Yep.
And it was in Atlantic City, and so we had him on, and never took his sunglasses off. He was rude. He was very cold. And what we later realized, or what we think, is that it was the brother, and it wasn't even him.
Jeez.
Yeah, so we were like that.
He does have a twin. Holy.
Yeah, we were like that interview was terrible. Like we didn't
I'll
like
say,
that.
he doesn't seem like the brightest gentleman. So
it
I'm
was-
sure someone told him less is more.
Yeah.
And then there was a comedian, and I forget what her name was, but she was awful. We don't know why she even came in because she did a disservice to selling tickets to her show. She was so terrible.
Man.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Like she was basically like, we'd ask her a question, she'd be like, well, "Do you want me to answer that?" We're like, well, that's what an
Holy
interview is.
Maybe she never heard radio before.
Hell.
Yeah.
Then you have like a
Burt
bird.
Kreischer stays for the whole show.
Stays for the whole show.
Yeah, actually,
Your quinceanera. That was,
yeah. Well, when everything went down, he was he posted on his Instagram, was like,
Yeah,
I'm so
I saw
sad to
that.
hear about this. Todd Glass reached out to me, Robert Kelly, like a lot of longtime guests, friends that we've had come on the show. A lot of people were sad to hear it.
I guess because of his tour schedule, every year we would occasionally come down to be on air for the calendar or something.
Yeah.
And Tom Papa must have had the same schedule as the calendar.
We always were in like the waiting room with him.
We were always in an elevator or in the green room with Tom Papa. And one year he just goes,
"Hey, you guys again."
He goes, "Are you guys in a band?" Because he would always go on before us and then, take off. And we're like, no.
Yeah. And he's such like a wholesome, funny guy.
I know.
Yeah, we really like him.
But it was funny because it was always like, Tom Papa again.
But yeah, they would. A lot of them have that same schedule and will come into town the same time of year.
Right.
So.
And so we always, he was like, could we be driving in? And he's like, do you think Dom's going to be there? He's our buddy, our little weight room buddy.
Waiting for the elevator. Hey, man.
Now, this is a hypothetical.
Okay.
Now, everyone on the show, it's Preston, it's Steve, it's Nick, it's Casey, and Marissa. That's the core and Kathy. If you had to, in a hypothetical situation,
Kill one of them?
Fight one of them.
Like fist fight?
Yeah.
Fist fight.
And it's not about like that you don't like them. It's about just physical strength of fighting. Who would you go after? Who
who? Because I knew I could win.
Like who you'd have the best chance, and that's who you're going to go after.
I mean, I feel like it would have to be Marissa. I could easily take her down. She's so little.
All right, because she's not feisty. She's not that. Doesn't have
Sorry.
that little person anger in her.
No, I don't think so. I think she'd be like, "What are you doing?"
Who would you be afraid to fight?
Steve.
Yeah.
Steve had like a temper in his day. He's since like
brought
that
he's
down
so
a bit.
Controlled now.
Yeah. He's a
Because
little
just simmering right below the surface.
Yeah, like
right?
there's times where he like ran up onto the hood of someone's car because they were tailgating him or something. You know what I mean? So there was
it's in the dark
Plus,
shadows.
I feel like he would just be like this. He'd like take me by the back of my shirt and like move me and be like, "No, we're not fighting."
Now, who would be afraid to fight you?
Probably, I think Casey would be afraid to fight me. Like he's like he like talks a good game, and then he'd be like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
See, he strikes me as someone who would bite. You're like, what the hell, man? I was losing. I'm sorry. I had to bite.
No, I feel like Nick would bite. You'd be like, "Dude, that's off limits," and you just bit me.
All right, we've been thinking about a little hook to put for promos and whatnot, and we were testing some things out. So we'll test that. It's like, even though we've known you for 22 years, we don't really know you. So we're going to play a game of Desert Island.
Okay.
So you have three things.
Okay.
Album, movie, and TV series.
Okay, so I'm a TV series person. So
Okay.
I would much rather watch a series than a movie or just throw music on. That's what I thought you were asking. Okay, one of each. Oh no.
But I always like with these questions because like the letterbox is the big one. It's like your 4 favorite movies they had been asking celebrities, and they're panicked when they're asked, and it's like it's not going to be written in stone. It's not going to be
It's just
for
hard
this moment right now.
If there was like a list to choose from, right? But it's hard to just come up with one. I mean, I think TV series I'd have to say Yellowstone because, like I said, I was dreaming that I was in it. So I would have to say Yellowstone. But Yellowstone with Kevin Costner. Although I think they did a good job ending it. What was the other movie?
Oh, spoiler alert. Jesus.
I said a good job ending it. I didn't say that everyone was killed.
What? Are they? Oh my God. I'm never going to watch it.
I'm never going to Yellowstone.
Movie. I think I'd have to go old school. Like some of the movies that I can watch still from start to finish are like Dirty Dancing, Grease, Titanic.
I just watched the end of Grease last night.
Yeah, like those movies I can still watch from start to finish. Right. My brother and I joke that no matter where in Titanic, like when you would put TV on and the movie would already be playing, like no matter where it was, we would watch it and we'd watch it till the end.
Yeah. I feel that way about Roadhouse. The
original.
Yeah.
Original.
And so I'm going to tell you something. I'm probably not going to be able to pick an album for you because I don't think, and everyone always thinks I'm crazy when I say this, I don't think I have ever listened to a full album from start to finish.
Ever.
I need, like, if it was a greatest hits, okay.
Right.
fine. But a full album, start to finish, sit down,
Right.
I don't think I've ever.
Too much filler, huh?
It just too much of the same. I start to get bored.
That's wild. Because like anyone like who's like really into vinyl,
Right.
it's like they used to like, you know, they plan you to listen to it in a row
In that order.
and
Yeah,
it tells a story or whatever.
Yeah, it's taking you on a
and
journey.
there's so many
It's-
things where I'll hear and I know that what the next song would be on the album. You know, you hear one
because
song.
yeah.
But no, I'm not judging. I'm just saying I've never heard that.
I know, and most people haven't. They're like,
All
you
right,
never
so
listened to an album?
Put it differently. Greatest hits of what group or person?
So this person's always in my mind because I love him so much. But and he's in the news now. But Billy Joel. So
Wow.
I was always a huge
I think
fan.
I knew that from the show.
I was always a huge fan of Billy Joel. I've probably seen him the most out of anybody. Wow. He's from Long Island. He used to vacation in Montauk, whereas I vacation every year. There's a motel there where he supposedly sat and wrote songs that we stayed at that motel. So, you know, I've always had this like,
It's deep.
Yeah,
It's
this
deep.
like deep connection with him. And I did own his greatest hits whenever, probably in high school or something like that.
Canceled his.
Yeah, so
he's not well.
He has like encephalitis or
something that's going on that supposedly I heard.
AIDS?
I think if they stop it.
Is that not accurate?
No,
Okay.
no. Billy Joel does not have AIDS.
No, but supposedly it can be treated and
Yeah,
he
yeah,
should be
yeah.
okay. He should get all
Right.
function and everything back, whatever's happening. So I know, I was like bummed to hear that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I only like one Billy Joel. I only like "We Didn't Start the Fire."
No.
That's the only song. That's the only song I
That's
like.
what you like?
No.
Yep.
But it's funny. Like
My father-in-law owned a piano bar, so I have
You
heard
got
enough
a
Billy Joel
lot of Billy Joel.
for a lifetime.
Okay.
But I like the old stuff. It's the type of thing where I might have owned some Billy Joel albums, but it's like I'd be like, why do I know every single word to this song?
Everybody
and I
does.
haven't heard it.
You have
like,
to.
And I think that's why,
Yeah.
right? Because I'm getting bored with these deep cuts. If you're giving me all hits, I'm all in.
All hits all day. Yeah.
I mean, his concert, there
Yeah.
was
Oh,
one song that I didn't know, and I was like, I can't believe I don't know that song.
You
What
were-
is that
He
song?
played that song so you could go to the bathroom. That's the only reason he played it.
I knew every song and probably like 90% of the words to each song.
I think it's crazy. Like, wasn't it just a year ago where he was like, "This next song's a new song," and everyone was like, "What the fuck?
Are you kidding me?
You haven't written a new song in 28 years."
Could you imagine? He was still that successful, selling out. I think I saw him at the ballpark. Was it ballpark or the Link? I forget. But sold it out, and just on hits that he wrote.
Yeah.
however
Just on the
many-
greatest hits record.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, it's
but at a certain point, you're like, I don't want to see you perform it. Only hits, man. That's all I want to hear is hits.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. I think that's
Yeah.
part of it. Is people are going for the hits.
yeah. My wife is a huge Springsteen fan. Like she's lost count of how many shows, hundreds of shows. Like it's obsessive. But like now that we're married, I've gone to a few, and like he'll switch it. Like the first 2/3 of the show could be anything.
Yeah.
From anywhere, but then he always just hits all the hits at the end and finishes.
Yeah,
stuff.
he's
So
so
it's like-
good.
Yeah.
Again, I only want to hear "Born in the USA" songs.
No.
I want to hear "Dancing in the Dark," "Born in the USA." That's
Those are the
all
ones
I want.
he
Only
shorts,
ones I want to
he just
hear.
puts it like he kind of groups them all together to kind of get them on.
I don't care for any others.
All right, well, I have one more bullshit get to know Kathy question.
Okay.
A movie bio is being made of you. Who is playing Kathy Romano?
Okay, wait. Let me think about this. Yeah, there's a couple of people.
And see if we approve.
All right. Okay. Okay. One, I'm gonna say Eva Longoria.
Oh, nice.
She'd do a nice job.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
That's
her.
strong.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's good.
I like her. Who's the one who's on? I can't think of her name. Wait, let me come back to that because I can think of what she's in, but I can't think of her name. But also Jessica Biel.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I could see it, but she's not smart enough.
She's not. Oh, okay.
Okay, but I see it. I see
I've
it.
seen her in a few things where she come across. I like
All right.
Jessica Biel.
Are you watching Friends and Neighbors, Neighbors and Friends?
Yes.
Who's the wife, the ex-wife that's with the basketball player?
Oh, Amanda Peel.
Yeah,
Amanda
maybe
Peet?
her.
Pete.
Amanda Peet.
Is it
Amanda
Pete
Peet,
or
yeah.
Amanda Pete?
Amanda Pete.
Wait, is that? Yeah, Amanda Pete or her.
Amanda Pete.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
She's good. She's strong.
Yeah.
Good.
What do you guys think?
I like that. I hadn't thought about it. It's the first time I'm hearing this question. I think Viola Davis. I mean, she can do anything. She's a great actress. I mean,
if it was back when I was younger, I would have said Julia Roberts. Everyone used to tell me I looked like Julia Roberts.
I can see that. You have a smile.
That must be what it is. The teeth.
Yes.
Wait, can I ask you guys questions?
Oh, shit.
Oh, yeah.
You're no, they're easy.
Once, but it was camp and I didn't want to do it.
No. So there was like a couple of things when we were talking, going back and forth. We've known each other for so long, right? Like we've been part of this family. You guys are extended family.
Yes.
And I was thinking about you guys and how you've worked together for so long. And it was similar to our situation. So I think that there were very few times, if any, where people like cried at work. Well, that day we all cried. Every single one of us was bawling tears.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever cried like in your presence?
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's maybe people passing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we had something.
Yeah.
It was something heavy. It was something unfun.
Okay.
Yeah, unfun. Yeah, we had some.
Have you ever hugged each other?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you're huggers.
Oh yeah. We're huggers.
Okay. Because I have a friend.
It's not excessive. Like we don't do it daily, but
I have people
when you come in the morning.
Yeah. It's really uncomfortable for everyone else, You
hug every morning.
Put down whatever I'm doing. I'm like, hey,
you're here.
Oh my.
The reason I ask that is that I have a friend who has a rule at work. She will never cry at work, and she will never hug anyone. So she sent me a video before.
But what if someone goes into the hug? Does she like give her the side?
It's like
the lean over side hug.
You immediately know.
No, that she does not want this.
She goes rigid.
Yes.
No, like she'll be like. Yeah. You guys have been together 25 years, right?
Yeah. 25.
I was gonna ask do you both have the same job, or are you designated? Because in our setting this up,
right,
I was like, oh, does Jay still work there? Because you didn't send any messages. You were on the chain, but you sent any messages.
We've learned not to step on each other's.
I'm always like, if I wait long enough, he'll answer.
I think you liked one message. I was like, oh, there he is.
Still alive.
I always have to say, and it's just like, Jay is extremely talented. He could do what we do without me, but I couldn't do what we do without him.
So you can. That's nice. Why you didn't answer the text. You control the whole thing here.
I just sit in that room.
But I feel I have strengths. But like most of my stuff is pre-production, like ideas and concepts and kind of bringing things together.
Okay.
And looks and like I'm a little bit more in the clouds where he is just cranking out talented, beautiful work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. I think because he came up through like an agency and I came up on sets.
Right.
So it's like I think just more technical predisposition.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe. And like if you've been on TV shows, it's like they have a different language. They talk a different game. So he can talk to crew guys, cameramen, grips, and gaffers and all that stuff. They won't talk to me. I don't know what, it's an extension cord. No, it's a stinger. It's like
he talks to the girls. He handles wardrobe and makeup.
I'll do wardrobe, makeup. I handle.
He's like, I have a vision. I'm like, go ahead.
I pick colors.
Go tell them your vision.
Wait, so are you still doing photo shoots?
Yeah.
Do you still work with Maria and those girls?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
We still work with them.
They were great too.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. We have a fun crew, and we've known.
Yeah,
them
we really tried to hone it into a group of people that we knew were going to be easy to work with, fun, going to do a great job, but also like got it.
Because it's a lot of like, even like everyone would be, oh, you do the Preston and Steve calendar. Oh my God, that's great. Naked girls. It's a lot of fucking work. That's a lot of work.
Well, and you guys had that, like you said, you all work well together. Like Maria would send somebody out in something and you could like look at her and be like
this,
that's it. And she'd be like, yeah, you're right. We're going to take that off and put this on. Like she knew right away.
Yeah.
He thought he was in like an 80s trying on clothes montage all the time. He's like,
a lot of it was like that. Yeah. No.
And the photographers were good. We worked with a couple of different photographers.
Yeah, Dom
Trevor,
was awesome.
Yep.
And second Dom. We've had two Doms.
Second Dom.
Yeah. There was a lot of talented people came out.
I won't mention names, But we had a photographer that we did not want to work with.
Yes, I know.
And we brought you in on a phone call.
Oh.
To and
mediate,
kind of show
mediate.
you why we didn't want to work with them. And in the middle of the phone call, you weren't in the office. You were wherever you were. And it was like a 3-way phone call.
Yeah.
You text us is like, I understand. Okay. Let it go. I get it.
We appreciated that.
I know. There was a little explanation. You explained why. Yes. So that call, yes, but you explained why, because there's a whole process and taking photos and, post-production and like all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So
and it's on a deadline.
Yeah, and understanding how the photographers you normally work with worked, it made sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Plus, it was also going back to this calendar, but it's like it wasn't just 12 picture. It was every girl had 2 pictures.
2 outfits.
24 pictures plus the cover plus the back. So it was like
so we're looking
so
at
much
20,
retouching, cleaning up.
Yeah.
Whatever we needed to do. It was hundreds of images.
Yeah.
But when it is hard work, so you want to surround yourself with good people and just have fun. Just like we do this and we talk for 45 minutes. You guys would talk for 4 hours, 5 days a week.
Sometimes 5 hours, yeah.
Yeah, well, with Pierre coming in around noon.
Well, I'm going to defend Pierre. Pierre came in at that time because that's when we were ending. So he leaves his house every day during a certain point in our show. So if we're running late, he's like, great, I have extra time. Yeah. So he just shows up based on when we reach a certain point in the show. So it's not his fault.
Yeah.
That's good to know. Yeah, it was, we started this. We were like, well, if they could do it 5 days a week, we could do it for 35 minutes or 40 minutes once a week. And we were like, this is so goddamn hard.
Right?
I was like, I hate you so much.
Yes. Well, and the chemistry. It was easy for us.
Everyone knew their lane.
When you have that, it's easy. It's just conversation, right? Like it's getting easier now for you guys to do 30, 45 minutes.
Yeah.
So we could do 5 hours, no problem.
Yeah.
But when you take an important part out of that, I don't know. See how it goes.
I hope they're suffering. You can say it. It's all right. Hope it falls apart. Is there a part of you deep down that's just like, God, I hope it all just burns to the ground now.
No, because you can't, that's family. That would be like, God, I hope my family dies in a fiery crash. No,
you have not met my family.
Remember I said we were family? We're not. Really, we're not. No, I don't. I've said this a number of times. I am not mad at them.
Yeah. Nor should you be.
You can't.
I mean,
this was not my decision, and it was not theirs.
Right. Yeah.
And it was a shock to everybody.
I mean, that was very, very obvious, just how shocked everyone was.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Do you have ideas on what's next? What got an open book now, right?
What do you guys have for me?
All right.
See how good I am at podcasts?
We can get you one of these.
Oh, that's why she's doing our podcast.
Everything. I'm fortunate to have a lot of contacts, right? I made a lot of contacts over the years, and people have reached out to me. What are you doing next? We might have a possibility for you. So I'm talking to everybody, taking every avenue possible. I was in a really good spot and a great job, so I don't want to take anything less. I don't want to be unhappy in life. Yeah. Right? There's so many people.
Yeah.
One woman, it's funny, all the messages and text calls that I got, there's some that really stick out to me, people and their advice and stuff like that. And one said the majority of people are not happy in their job ever. And I was like, that is so scary. But what her point was you were for so long, don't settle for less. You're going to find something else.
That's your bar.
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't lower it is what she was saying. Yeah. And she's amazing. I love her. But so I'm not going to. I have to.
When we talked about it, we weren't worried for you. We know you're great on television. You're obviously great on radio. You have so many talents. You're a natural. We're not it wasn't be like, oh shit, what's she gonna do?
Yeah.
She's so screwed. Oh my God. It's like, she's gonna be fine.
She's gonna, she will land softly somewhere.
I think that was the overwhelming response that I got from everyone. Everyone was like, this sucks. We are so sorry. We hate this, but we know you're not gonna die a slow death. You'll be fine.
Yeah. You're gonna be all right.
Now I'm open for anything.
If Jason Kelsey wants to do a talk show with you, Lay down some rules.
You're so mean.
I just feel like you could bring a lot to that if you changed it entirely.
Well, there you go. I could step in. But that's the thing, too, is, when I'm sending my stuff out, I do have a resume, and then I have a one sheet of like what I can do. Because, yes, obviously, I can be on air and I can do hours worth of content if you'd like. But there's a lot of other skills that I come with. I don't have to be on the air.
Right. A lot of transferable skills.
I could do all the behind the scenes stuff, creating and, producing and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. There's going to be an opening over here pretty soon. I don't want to say anything.
You're letting this guy go? Corporate's coming in later.
Yeah. Kind of gave up that I could be replaced. So.
The bosses are coming down.
No, but there has to be some excitement to it. I mean, the next chapter type thing.
I mean,
I know.
Yeah. Maybe when we get closer to something.
Yeah.
That's not going to make me have to sell my house and live in a cardboard box.
Yeah. That's motivation.
You do get to sleep in now.
You know what's so weird? Yes.
Can't?
So no, I do, but I don't sleep in as much as I thought I would. My alarm is not going up at 4:15.
Yeah.
When you guys said be here at 11, I was like, perfect.
I'll try.
So I'm still up fairly early, not that early at all. But the one thing that I realize it's so weird, like one of the biggest changes right now during this period from not working there is my laundry. I went through my laundry and I was like, it's like workout clothes, my yoga mat, my yoga towel, like millions of socks because I'm wearing socks and sneakers. like no clothes, no jeans. I'm not going to work.
No, I'm going to see someone clothes.
Yeah, totally. Like all workout clothes. And yesterday I had something to do. I came home, immediately put sweatpants on, had them on for the rest of the day. So I was like, oh, my laundry's really different.
The last time, like unemployed, like 20-year-old, like in your 20s and you're unemployed, I think like the telltale sign is The Price is Right. Or a soap opera. If you find yourself being like, oh shit, I gotta, Price is Right is on. That was always my marker. It's like, oh shit, I've been watching The Price is Right for a long time.
Yeah, I remember times where I was like, I gotta be home by 2.
I gotta get up.
My story's on.
Yeah, my story's on.
I will say I have been extremely busy. People laugh when I say that. But I'm like, no, I actually have been because stuff like this. I did Fox 29. I filled in for the whole week. So there was that. That was for the week. Yes. So there's been, I've gone on some interviews and auditions and things like that. So I've actually filled my schedule and it worked out this week because I feel like this week is sort of, I'm like, okay, I have a little bit of time. Yeah.
I'm always amazed by, how much you could. There's a lot of shit you need to do all day long. Yeah.
Well, and trying to find a job is like a full-time job.
It's a full-time job. Yeah.
Sat at the computer for hours yesterday. You have to write these cover letters and this and that. And
see on like monster.com now.
It might be.
I was thinking about getting into air conditioning and auto repair.
You're watching enough TV during the day that you're like I don't know.
Shit, maybe I should.
Vocational training might be the thing for me. You're like, Penco Tech makes a really valid argument.
No, you know what my dream is? If I was like, okay, if I don't go back to corporate, right? If I don't want to do that, I want to own my own business. I want to open up. Hear me out.
Pitch me.
Okay.
Wow.
Here we go. Hold on. Okay. Coffee shop / flower shop / jewelry. Let me explain.
Okay.
It's making sense on the surface.
Yeah, no red flags yet.
Okay. Right. So I love coffee, and that's always been a dream. Like I could open up just like a cool vibe coffee shop.
Yeah. Are you roasting your own beans or are you bringing them in?
So I think I would bring them in initially until I figured out how to, get a roaster, get our own,
your own
coffee.
Artisanal blend.
Well, the blend that because I'm also picky. I have a specific taste that I like, and I know the beans that I don't like, and all that kind of stuff. So I would that, and then I love flowers, and I always said I would be a florist in my next life,
dude. I have a weird skill for arranging flowers.
Flowers, right?
I'm really good at it.
So have you seen like the bloom bars that they do?
Yeah.
Okay, so not full on florist, but the coffee there'd always be a bloom bar. So you could always walk in, you'd pick the fresh flowers, put your bouquet together.
Yep.
That would be part of it. And then
like
you
it.
guys know I
Where
have
did the balloons come in? I don't know.
Bloom.
bar.
We can get you balloons if you want. I can get a helium tank.
I'm terrified of balloons. I'm terrified.
Get well soon.
No balloons.
He leaves with coffee and a get well
no
soon balloon.
Yeah, only Mylar. Don't worry.
It's like, when did balloons come into this?
No, Bloom Bar.
Bloom Bar.
Bloom Bar.
Got it.
And then
got it.
I have my own jewelry line, so I would put my
Yeah,
jewelry out.
Makes sense.
And I've already been researching the vibe that I would want and, you know, how it would look and all that kind of stuff. I just don't know. I need to research how do you get a business loan when you have no income?
Interesting.
That is tricky.
Yeah.
So we'll see about that. We'll see how this works out for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. How much equity do you have on your house?
Yeah, you should have gotten that loan while you were still employed.
Right?
You're like, hey guys,
Damn it.
I just need to do this in 2 weeks if you don't mind.
It's easier said than done, but also investors, they say the smartest people never use their own money.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
It is true. I know.
So you just got to sell someone on it.
Well, I love La Colombe coffee. Where's Todd?
Yeah.
He's counting his
He's counting his
Chobani
money. He's in his money room.
He's counting his Greek yogurt money.
Planning his next mountain trip.
Yes. Yeah. I like that. We had an idea for a coffee shop. It was a little different. It was only girls in bikinis serving coffee.
Yeah, this is back in the heyday with the calendar. We know so many.
We're like, we
bikini
know
girls.
them. We know enough people that would.
It was going to be coffee to go.
I mean, like, what's the difference from that and Hooters?
Well, it's
coffee.
just coffee.
It's just
No,
in
I
the
know,
morning.
but I'm just
one
saying,
size
like,
coffee, one price, and it's in like a low bar.
so you're not
Like,
really
you
going
like
for
do
coffee.
it like on like the corner of 18th and Market.
Yeah, we were going to
Oh,
build
you're gonna
it.
have a cart.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A cart.
And so
that
the
only
girls
here to
are
here.
in a tight space,
Okay.
but you can only order one thing. So it's
that's
music and it's a go-go bar and
That's really funny.
Yeah.
coffee to go-go.
Coffee to go.
Coffee to go.
Yeah, and then you hire someone to
Push the cart.
a little security for the girls. You're done.
Now you know if you see somebody walking into
Yeah.
the bikini with a cart, I'm like, I don't know. Somebody else got to it first. Kathy's Coffee to go.
Coffee to go. It's like change that. Fuck flowers.
You can also buy a necklace.
Yeah. The girls will wear a
all
necklace.
wear the
Not
necklace.
much more, but
I'm like,
they'll
here,
have
put
the-
this
yeah.
necklace on and go try to sell coffee. Right outside their
It's all
door.
lost in their tits.
But that was the La Colombe thing. When they first opened up, the best thing was it was one size cup of coffee was $1.
Oh, really?
Yeah, back in the
when
day
you
on
went in,
Rittenhouse.
it was
yeah.
like boom, boom, boom. So we lived at La.
That's why we started the company there.
Company at La Colombe.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we know all those guys.
Oh, get out.
Well, thank you, Kathy. This is see, time flies. It's
Time
like-
flies. Thank you, guys.
Yeah. No, and hopefully maybe we'll have you back again.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank
Maybe-
you.
Yeah,
we love you. I
Yeah.
can't wait. I can't wait to hug you when this is over. You and not her.
Easy, yeah.
Yeah, you guys, but as I'm leaving, you guys hug.
We say goodbye to you. We're like hands in each other's back pockets.
Yeah, we always have to remind people when we talk about, our spouses or being married, and we're like, not to each other. It's like,
Well, it's funny. You guys were always Jay and Joseph. Jay and
Yeah.
Joseph. You came as a pair. No one ever talked about you separately.
Nope.
It was
No,
like,
no, it was-
Jay from Jay and Joseph.
Yeah.
Jay and Joseph. Joseph from Jay and Joseph.
Or like when we had your wife on the show, it'd be
Yeah.
like, well, from Jay and Joseph, Joseph's wife.
He's like, Jay's not married. Yeah. I have nothing to do with Jay.
Yeah, she's like, I'm very far removed from that. That is, I don't even like them. Well, thank you very much.
Yeah,
Kathy.
thank
we
you
really
guys. That was
appreciate you
awesome.
doing this.
Thank you.
All right. Bye.